A nice warm welcome to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is our Union campaign, and we're back with another episode here. It's episode 8 of this campaign. Grand Tactician is one of my favourite games to play at the moment, and if you're new here, why not check out my channel and have a look at the other playlists we've got available on this game. We have completed, I think, 4 full playthroughs now. This is the 5th. We've played as the Union, we've played as the Confederates, we've had 1864 starts, 1861 starts, early starts in 1861, and so on. So like I say, this is episode 8 now of this playthrough, and if you have missed the previous episodes, then do check out the link to the playlist, which will be in the description for this video. It'll also be in a pinned comment. But if you are new here, then we'll do a quick run through of what's been going on. If you're back watching this as the regular series, or if you're just watching through one after another, whatever you're doing, then just note that this will be a chaptered video, so you can skip ahead to wherever you want to go to. This beginning bit is basically just a little overview of what's going on. Though there will be a couple of slight new little announcements, and I'll start with those new bits first, so you can go past that, skip past it once you've seen the new bits. So in terms of the new parts, I've just renamed a couple of the fleets, basically, that's all it is, and I've strengthened them up. So we've called this the Gulf Blockade, I've added an extra frigate to it. I've renamed this the New Orleans Blockade, if I can click them. It's just the Gulf, it was called like the 2nd Gulf Squadron or something like that. So now it's called the New Orleans Blockade. We've got the Florida Alabama Blockade, which is kind of blockading Mobile and, is it Pensacola, this one? I always forget. Yeah, it's Pensacola and Apalachicola or something like that. Oh no, Pensacola Court. I can't remember. One of these has got a funny name. That's this one. Apalachicola. Yeah, okay. I'm probably butchering the name. But that's only blocked 30%. So we've got the East Gold Squadron. Okay, that should be the East Gulf Squadron. I'll just quickly amend that. Good job we checked there. Otherwise we'd be confused. The East Gulf Squadron. Now that's only got 7 ships. So why don't we stick another one in there? We'll just stick one of these double-enders in. That'll take it to 8. And hopefully that'll increase the blockade slightly for them there. We're also blockading Cedar Key Port with this fleet. And then we go around here. We've still got blockading Squadron 5. I suppose I could rename that one, but I mean, screw it, just leave it. Then we've got these Atlantic blockading squadrons and other blockading squadrons that are blockading these large ports up on the east coast, which are nicely blockaded. 96% blockaded here for Port Royal, which is part of Savannah, I guess, or maybe it's a separate entity altogether. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it's nicely blockaded, that one. Charleston, if we can get it, 63%, so also that's pretty pleasing. Only 6 ships in this blockading squadron also, so blockading squadron 6, let's have a look. So this has only got tiny little ships in it, but we really haven't got that much else to add to it. But why are these grayed out and not able to be added? I'm not sure. We'll leave it though. I'm saving this cotton-clad ram probably for the river fleet, I think. You'll probably be wondering why I'm not building any more ships. Well, it's because our credit rating's on BBB minus, and it's actually only BB plus. I'm sure once we press play, it's going to kick straight into that and show us that. So a few more blockading fleets dotted around, but they're all the same as they were. So I'll go on to the overview now of what's been going on, what's happening in the world. Let's have a quick look here then. So I'll start with the front lines view. And here we are. We've got this line kind of at Fredericksburg in Virginia. You may recall, or if you don't recall, if you're new here, obviously that we've made West Virginia secede from the Confederacy and rejoin the Union, as it did historically, but not till 63. And we're only in April 62, and we've already managed to achieve that. We control much of Kentucky, but that's kind of in name only. We don't have much in the way of forces here, but then neither has the Confederacy. So, this is kind of where the action's happening here. It's happening around Cairo. We fought a large battle at Cairo and forced the retreat, basically, of Price and his Missouri State Guard and the Western Army. They've retreated back down to here. Grant has kind of pulled down and chased them down a little bit. He's got 28,000 men, but they are a little battered. We're carrying a few thousand wounded with us. Sherman and his army of the Tennessee have captured Fort Hyman. Now, we still have to capture Fort Henry and Fort Donaldson. These are formidable obstacles to our army and fleet. It's not the same as the AI taking one of our forts. It's way harder for us to take a fort. So, that being said, we might try and soften them up with these engineers first. And then send in the main army. That's a possibility. We also have this river fleet, the Mississippi River Squadron, which, I mean, if we have a quick look through the ships, is fairly weak. We've got a couple of fourth-rate steamers, a whole bunch of these gunboats, which are only armoured with timber, so really they don't stand up that well to artillery fire from those large fort guns. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those gunboats in this fleet. And then they're backed up with a whole bunch of tin-clad gunboats, which are pretty decent. I mean, they're okay. But can they take on a fort? Now, I doubt it. Obviously, armoured with iron, 5 knot speed. How slow. 6 guns on those. So, I mean, they are decent ships, but do we want to risk them against one of these forts and end up losing that whole fleet? I'm not so sure on that. I've been shafted with these forts a couple of times, and like even Fort Hyman was tough to take, and that only had a garrison of like 40 or 50 men, and it took Sherman's full force of 23,000 men and a whole host of cannon. I mean, he hasn't got lots of cannons, but they're all high caliber cannons, like 24-pound howitzers, which in reality would have pounded Fort Hyman to dust. I mean, Fort Henry and Fort Donaldson, they will be tough nuts to crack, but we're going to try. I've just upgraded. I've just given his army a perk. Hang on, it's not showing up here. So I've given them the Sappers and Miners perk, which gives siege assault efficiency plus 25%. And I figure Sherman's army is who we're going to use for a lot of the sieges. Alright, so this is kind of the main theatre of operations. Secondary to that, we've got this little force here under Fremont, the Southwest Missouri Force. It's only got 4,200 men. They're facing the army of Tennessee, which has come across here into western Arkansas, and they're backed up by the Army of the West with another 4,000 men. So we are 2-1 outnumbered down in this little section. However, this force being here kind of keeps the Army of the Tennessee and the Army of the West pinned in this area, because they don't want us coming down here and taking Carlton and Carrollton. I don't know how to say this one. Or they certainly don't want us pushing down towards Fort Smith and breaking their supply lines and things like that. So that is an issue for them. And we also have the Missouri Department here under Buell, which is, I mean, it's only 2,000 men, but still, you know, that's still a force there. And we also have Nathaniel Lyon with his Army of the West. Now, this is a substantial force for the Trans-Mississippi area. It's 20,000 men with 45 guns. They actually have some ordnance. That's nice. But howitzers mostly. It's one of those things, we're very short on weapons, we're very short on money. So the question remains now, what's the strategy? For starters, we're building a depot in this area because we've got no supply here, basically. So we're building this little supply depot, and this will be a little base of operations for Lyon's army. The plan is to probably push down towards Little Rock. And as he does that, I'm hoping to draw away the Army of the West, at least, or both of these armies towards Little Rock to try and defend it. And when they do that, we will push down with Fremont. At least that's the plan. And we do have 2,700 men here to back them up. I don't want to recruit too many more men, although I am going to recruit a couple of units into this central HQ, which is, at the moment, only got guns in it. Basically, they're just there so this unit doesn't disappear. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll just recruit a unit of infantry into here, just so we've got some ready to go. Just a medium-sized unit from California. It'll take them a while to get there, and that's absolutely fine. And we'll recruit 2. We'll bring one in from Kentucky. Again, medium-sized, that's fine. And we'll go with these 2 commanders. They're absolutely fine. Hovey, let's see where he's from. Indiana, so it gives us a bit of state support there. I don't think we particularly need it, but let's have a quick look at the weapons then. Okay, so this is one of the problems we have here. So this is to upgrade artillery. They've currently got 6-pounder field guns. We've got nothing. Howitzers, that's it. Oh, we actually have 12-pound Napoleons. I spoke too soon. Oh, yes, because I'd pulled these out of a fort garrison. So a fort garrison had these attached, and I've swapped them out for 6-pounders. So we got these 12-pound Napoleons available, which I'm going to add into this unit, and we'll send these guys out once they're ready. We'll send out an infantry brigade and the artillery. But yeah, so we just build these up, and still not a massive force or anything, but we have to be aware of our finances. So in the east then, we've got Winfield Scott with his eastern HQ. Again, it's small, we can't really afford too many more troops. But that's about it for the overview. That's where we're at. So let's get started here. Oh, one more thing, actually, before we do. you may note that we've now got this area of Virginia and North Carolina under our control. Again, this is kind of just proxy control because we've taken, or we are taking, the fort at Norfolk, which we should be able to take that. And then we'll have this army of the Chesapeake under Steedman with somewhere around 15,000 men in Virginia. In this kind of region of Virginia. So we'll garrison this fort. We'll keep Steedman knocking around here. We'll probably aim to take these other forts, you know, and then just start taking more of their coastal lands. If he lets us. It's a difficult one. A difficult situation. We've got Banks with his engineers, and then the Army of Virginia under McDowell. Decent troops here. And, of course, Patterson's force up here as well. So, yeah, that's the situation. And we also have McClellan just down here in the southern part of the Shenandoah Valley, hanging out at Stanton. Yeah, it is. Hanging out there. So, I mean, there's pressure on Richmond. I'm not sure how long the war lasts. I mean, who knows for sure. We have definitely got a bit of an advantage, but if we look at the numbers, it's not amazing. We've got quite a substantial amount more men fielded. Our national morale swung higher. His support is pretty even, 92 to 90. Morale of our armies is quite low compared to his. We're on 79, he's on 87. We've got obviously more loyal states. We've got more military experience. We've won way more battles. Casualties, not huge so far, 28,500 for him, 11,000 for us. European relations, he's only on 20, so it's not amazing. We've got a slight advantage. So, like, there's nothing huge going on just yet, but that's absolutely fine. All right, so that's enough waffling now. So what is the plan? We're going to leave the Army of the Mississippi here. I was thinking about pushing him in, but I don't think so. We're going to let Sherman recover. We're going to have the engineers arrive here, and we'll build a depot. We're going to work on our finances. We need to stabilize this. We are working on government funding too, which should help a little. I'm planning on possibly doing Revenue Act next, or maybe we will do the USCT policy. I'm not sure. Enrollment's also an option, but you know, it's one of them things. Let's get going then. I'm going to press play. We're going to take our time with this. I think the sensible thing to do would be to possibly move some of the troops out of Buell's force and send them down to Lyon. Not Lyon. To send them down to Fremont. So that would take Fremont to almost 7,000 men with 25 guns. That's a fair size force. Let's just have a quick look at their weapons. We can upgrade those because we've actually got quite a bunch of Springfield rifles, and let's give out some Mississippis. Since it's likely these guys might, well, they may well see combat soon. So Mississippis for those guys. Oh, they've already got Springfield rifle muskets. Springfield normal muskets. Have we got any other? We'll give them reboards. I mean, reboards are okay. And since these guys, I'm not sure if these guys will have combat soon. It's fine. Or 20-pound parrots. 22 days. So we are gonna have some decent weapons here soon. 56 days for the 10-pounders. But these 20 and 30-pounders, 22 days for both of them, they should be good for our besieging armies. I mean, surely it makes a difference. 3,000 yard range on those. So we'll give a battery of 30-pounders to Sherman's army for sure. Since they're going to be taking some forts for us. Well, they're at least going to try to take some forts for us. Alright, so let's get these engineers in place. Sherman has arrived. He's moved back to supply because he was all out of supply. His disabled troops, it's sick men basically. We moved them at the very, very end of the winter quarters, which I think added some problems to his casualty numbers. Got to keep an eye on Polk's command, of course. So there you are. Look, our ratings dropped back down to BB+. Dicks at destination. So I know we're saying we've got no money, but, you know, we still have to build things. We definitely have to build some stuff. He's got the engineers and mechanics, so he's going to build it a little quicker than usual. We'll get a depot built. We very much need supply in this area. I mean, we're going to be pressing south. So supply is a must. We want to capture Nashville, basically. I'm going to relocate the central HQ to Cairo. I feel we can bring Patterson down this way. We've got the West Virginia department here, 11,000 men under McClellan, which is not going to stop anybody from crossing here, but it will indeed slow down any advance. In fact, what we might do, I might actually build a fort here at this river crossing. Again, I know I said we've got to save money, but we also need to win this war. I'm having real problems with forts. Oh, there. So that cost 8 million, which obviously is expensive, but, you know, it's one of those things. We've also got Kelly and his West Virginia Reserve, which could be useful elsewhere, I think. I'm going to pull... The Confederates have introduced conscription that extends all their contracts to 3 years. Our conscription doesn't do that. Our conscription just allows us to draft men into service, basically. I'm pulling Kelly back towards Charleston here. It means he can strike both ways, like back towards Virginia or down into Kentucky if need be. We've actually captured this supply depot here. Or did we build this? I'm not sure. It's got no artillery ammunition. It's like in the Western Theatre, artillery ammunition is always a bit of a problem. As we can see here, we're down to 53% artillery ammunition. And we've got troops on the move here. Okay, so I'm going to actually move Sherman down this way. By train. I don't know if he's going to get here in time, but they've actually taken this depot. We do have a garrison up here under McNeil. Only 1,500 men, but you know, that's still an obstacle. But it looks like he is coming for another scrap here. The Missouri State Guard, we've just whipped them. He's also got the Army of West Tennessee, which just looks like an artillery force. But that actually kind of opens up the road for an offensive for us with Lyon's force once he gets his supplies in here. Because if they're pulling away from here, it means it opens it up for us to push down on Little Rock. The Army of the West is on the move. Alright, so once he gets his reinforcements in here, we're going to push down and take Carrollton. Let's go ahead and switch Grant to a defensive posture and see what he does here. I had expected him to move Polk's command in back towards kind of the more central region of Tennessee, but he hasn't done that. It's a smart move of him. I mean, I'm glad to see the AI is improving a little in terms of moving his troops around and things like that. You know, at the strategic level, the AI does okay. It's not amazing, but it does okay. Whereas at the tactical level, in terms of the battles and things like that, it's not amazing. I won't mince my words about it. It's not amazing usually. Although he can do good things. He can definitely do good things, the AI. I keep referring to him as he, but you know what I mean. It's the AI. Sherman has not... he's marching, so he hasn't really begun his move, but he should be on the rail soon enough. And then we have Halleck, who's going to help us guard Cairo with his 4,000 men. Let's just have a quick look in the Eastern Theatre here, just see what's going on. Nothing yet, no real movement. Patterson has arrived down here. That's not Patterson. That's not Patterson either. That's Patterson. Okay. And he's just arrived there, yeah, of course. We've got economy alarms going on. Prices are increasing. Inflation is tanking. Yeah. Things aren't amazing on the financial front. We have upgraded all these banks, but it doesn't seem to have made all that much difference. We've got a prison camp here with 700 prisoners in it. So I think I'm going to send an extra brigade down to McClellan's force from the Eastern HQ, or a brigade and a battery. And an extra set of guns off to the Army of Mississippi. It'll take me ages to get there, but that's okay. I'm just going to have a quick look at the Western Virginia Department, actually. A good chunk of their men still armed with Springfield muskets. I'm going to upgrade those guys. Got some of these reboards. And again, reboards are not good, but they're a little better than Springfield muskets, I think. Gives them that 400 range. Enemies, we're not wasting the good weapons on units that may not even face combat. Yeah, not enough reboards for him. Lucky, he's going to get some Springfield rifle muskets. Napoleons and some howitzers. That's fine. That beefs him up a little bit. Just going to take McClellan up to like 14,000 men, give or take. The Hampton Division's also getting a lot of recruits in here. It's going to go to 23,000. I assume he's going to try and take on the Army of the Chesapeake. Which would make sense, of course. Oh, and the Army of the Northwest is on the move. Let's just slow this down. 10,000 with 80 guns. Now, is he moving towards McClellan? That would be an interesting fight, I think. Or is he simply repositioning? We'll find out. Either way, we can pull Banks back from there and bring McDowell forward. Let's see where he goes. Let's see what he's doing. So he is on the move here. Sherman has come down to join Grant. Let's send our fleet down to try and take Fort Pillow. I hope it doesn't just disintegrate. I would like to see some decent fleet action here. Let's see it. Come on. Dazzle me, Rogers. Come on. Let's have a quick look at Rogers, actually. He's okay. He's not bad. We got someone better, maybe. He's a little better, but not amazing. Foote. Let's give it to him. He's now the commander. Come on, Foote. Show us what you can do. Dazzle us. So, I mean, these two combined, I feel fairly confident we can give them a bloody nose. Oh. Alright, so that's actually a large force he's pushed down on us. Against McClellan. We can't even see them. We've only got 10,500, 23,000 men for him and 29 guns. That's not really a fight I want to fight, but let's give it a go. I mean, 2-1 outnumbered with McClellan in charge. Those reinforcements haven't arrived yet either. Actually, yeah, let's not fight that. We're going to withdraw with McClellan. It would be foolish to fight this, I think. But actually, no, then that's going to leave the whole valley open to invasion, unless he pulls up the valley, of course. It's a puzzler. So, like I say, the AI is challenging in the strategic map. So he's identified that this is a weak spot, and that now, since I've moved Patterson across, it leaves open the valley. So I do actually think that the campaign, the strategic AI, is not bad. I'm going to withdraw. That's not a winnable fight. I've given Banks the engineering perk. So I'm going to move Banks and his first engineers up here towards Winchester. Obviously, they're not going to be able to stop an invasion, so to speak. But since their armies are split, I think we could absolutely push on the enemy. Let's have a go. We'll have another offensive into Virginia. It will not let me build a fort at Cairo. Well, let's build one there, but that's not really much use there. There. Yeah, that's a bit better. Oh, BB minus shit. Right. Let's stop building things. Finances. We are really struggling with the finances. Got nothing to assign. Dropping the economic subsidies somewhat. I mean, we just simply can't afford it. So, okay, we've got on the offensive here. We've given up this area, and we're going to pull back into Western Virginia if he does it. But we are on the offensive in the eastern side of Virginia, and we're still besieging Norfolk. Has our fleet accomplished anything in the Mississippi? Still on their way. Are we going to see combat here as well? Or are they going south? I'm content to let them if they are. Nope. Oh, no. We've got a huge battle here. Well, I say huge. I thought it was huge when I seen all the list of armies, but actually it's not too bad. Sherman in charge for some reason. I would have thought it would have been Grant, but that's fine. So we've got Army of Mississippi and the Army of the Tennessee facing off against the Western Army, West Tennessee Army, which is just guns, and the Missouri State Guard. Okay, so this is going to be another large battle fought in this area here, which is not 1,000 miles away from the Shiloh campaign area. May the 1st, 1862. Let's go ahead and fight this battle, and then that's probably it for the episode, I think, because it'll probably take a while. We've got 44,000 infantry, 7,000 cav against his 20,500 infantry and 8,000 cavalry. So, I mean, we've got the numbers on him. If I was the AI, there's no way I would have sought out this fight. But, you know, fair play to him. Let's see what he does. We've come onto his dung heap and he wants it back. Alright, so this is the first, actually. This is actually the Shiloh battlefield. So this is Pittsburgh Landing here, the Tennessee River. I've never, ever fought on this battlefield before, and that's great. I love it. So a quick read here. We're facing the Missouri State Guard under Price. We know there's also that second army there and that third army with just the guns. Enemy army's green. It says this all the time. I'm sure this will be fixed at some point. Their supply situation is outstanding and they're eager. Ours is also outstanding, so says William Sherman. So we are on the defensive here. Pittsburgh Landing is the objective. Shame we haven't got a couple of gunboats in the river. That would have been handy. But yeah, so Battle of Jackson North Railroad. Right. Excellent. So we're starting with Grant in the field. I don't know. I don't really know why it's saying that Sherman was the main commander here, but Grant is in the field, and Grant leads the larger army, and Grant was made an army commander before, but never mind, it doesn't matter. 38 engineering points available, so we'll use them up. We'll form up a defensive position here. I'll have a little look at the terrain, but before we do that, let's just have a quick look to see how long he's going to be. Sherman, 2 hours, even though it said they should have been on the field. Arriving from Adamsville. That's not Adamsville. So where is Adamsville? I thought it would have been that one, since that's where he is on the campaign map. Adamsville. So it's up here. It's one we don't even control. Why would he be arriving from there? So that is a bit of a pain in the butt. The Confederacy's coming in here. We are deploying from here, and Sherman's coming in from way over here. Okay. All right. I'm going to deploy our men. I'll set up some defenses and we'll defend this area. All right then, so here we go. This is the setup pretty much. I've kept things real simple. We've got Prentice's division in reserve, apart from his guns, which are placed up on the line. We've got Lew Wallace's division on this right-hand flank. Hancock kind of in reserve, or to place those guns if they come under fire. We've got this small brigade under Wagner, which is our only musket-armed unit, facing this kind of creek area. We've got Harney's division in reserve here, but they'll be ready to move on to wherever we need them if there's no attack coming from this side. We've got the guns from the artillery, just 10 24-pound howitzers kind of supporting this side. There's not much fire for the guns, so that sucks a little. But actually, I'm going to just pop up these two brigades, the two reserve brigades under Hancock, and we'll have them just behind... under Hancock, under Prentice even. We'll have them just behind the guns so we can plug this gap in the middle if we need to. Yeah, and I think that's probably about it. I've left this middle bit open for the guns, but really there's not much fire to be had, so I think it's kind of a waste of time even having them there. There's no angle of fire anywhere. So what I might do, I might actually just plug this gap with some more parapet. Yeah. And stick one of these guys at it. Seems daft to do that when we can't get much fire anyway. We'll stick the guns here. They'll get a little shot off, I suppose, but very, very poor angles of fire, line of sight. It's no good really. Hooker's in reserve then. And obviously these guys are in reserve, and Minty's cav. But remember, we were also waiting for Sherman to arrive still, so we'll have to wait and see how this develops. We'll have to see where he comes from. I mean, he could even march all the way around and take us in the flank here, which wouldn't be miles beyond the AI. So actually, with that in mind, why don't we build some more, since we've got engineering points, just in case. We've got parapets this way, and we can fill them in with cav or some reserve infantry if need to. Okay. I'm going to press play here. We're starting at 1 p.m, 1307. So there we go, on the Shiloh battlefield. First time, the Battle of Jackson North Railroad. I'm going to send Hurlbut's cavalry out. We're just going to have a little scout around here, see if we can spot him anywhere. Where were they coming in from again? Let's just recheck. So they're coming from this top section. I mean, they're going to have to walk along Bark Road. The rest of this terrain is horrendous. So let's send Hurlbut up to this crossroads and just have a look. Let's ×5 this. Custer's cavalry did a really good job in the last battle. Took heavy casualties, but they held firm, and they've got those Hall carbines, which are a really good weapon. So presumably Price is not going to be in too much of a hurry. He's going to come in. He'll probably wait for his reinforcements. I would. He's outnumbered for starters. Or he might push down and try and hit us before Sherman gets here, but, that's risky. But then, everything's risky, I suppose, up to a point. In battle. We can't see him here, but, he wouldn't be here yet, I guess. But I suspect he's coming down this way. He might turn off past the Shiloh Church, or is he going to come all the way around here for along the Eastern Corinth Road? I'm not sure. Maybe we send out Custer as well. We'll get his scouts out, and we'll have a quick look. We're covering both those crossroads. We should get a look at them at least. Hopefully the cav won't be too exposed there. So when Sherman comes in here, I'll give him orders to join us at the rear, I guess. See how he makes his way here. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take him a long time. These men will be strung out and exhausted. So the majority of the fighting will be done by Grant's troops out. I can't see any other way around. Unless it goes into the second day, in which case they may have recovered, but I doubt they'll even get here by then, if I'm honest. Okay, so pause. He's coming down past the Shiloh Church. So he's going to try and push in between our parapets. That's what he's going to do, basically. I think, anyway, unless he's come along here. But we'll see. Let's get Custer out of there so you can see him coming. Hopefully he's going to get this order in time. But it doesn't look like it. We can give him the retreat order. That's fine. I just didn't want him getting cut off there. Oh, so, yeah, they're coming across. I'm not sure where he's going to attack us. It should be interesting. I mean, this should be an interesting little fight. We're on a minor defeat here. Not sure why. Morale, he's way high. I mean, we are in their lands. Hurlbut hasn't moved yet. No option for giving the retreat order. Oh, there he goes. He's got it. Cool. He's calling in the scouts. We don't need them out. I'm going to give long-range orders from Grant himself. So I want all our infantry on long range. We have got rifle-armed troops, except for that one brigade. So we want to take full advantage of that and hope the Confederates are still rolling with muskets, which in the last battle they certainly were in part. Sherman, an hour away still. Which means he's still ages away from being able to help the fight. It's times 10 this. Sherman arrives. It'll take him a while to gather his men on the field. And then it's going to take him even longer to obviously come across here. There's not really any roads to speak of, unless he's going to march this way. And he may well bump into the enemy if he does. So what we might actually do, why don't we form him up near the Shiloh Church and push in for a flank attack? That could be an option, except, of course, the terrain is just horrendous. So by the time he gets there, it'll be shot. It won't be good. His cohesion, I mean. He's got Cav advancing down here. Or are they going to try and swing around? That's the question. Just detaching the division cavalry here. Sherman is on the field. Okay, so yeah, I think we're going to try and take him here, and we're going to try and launch a flank attack with his 23,000 men. Not like that, though. We don't. This is an absolute mess. So that's the guns. It's difficult to even get a hold of these troops. The cavalry here. We'll send it. Oh no, it's not even cavalry. Send the division that way. I'm actually going to split these guys up a little bit. He's actually going to march around. I think it's been discussed at length, but I'm sure the AI has fog of war for units, but not for fortifications. So he knows where our fortifications are. He's going to actually march all the way around here to try and take Pittsburgh Landing by not having to engage us. I mean, honestly, it's just at least it seems that way. Where's Custer? This is an absolute shambles mess over here. Shambolic. We can't move this whole force in here because they had artillery going off into the woods and all sorts. And he's marching around. He's simply going to march around our defenses here because he knows exactly where they are. All right, so we'll just have to deal with this. We'll just have to suck it up and deal with it. Harney. What am I going to do here? I'm going to move Harney over this way to cover this objective, basically. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to keep an eye up here because he's swinging his men around to go where we've got no defenses. It's really annoying that. I mean, I know things like in war don't go to plan, but this is ridiculous that he knows where our defenses are. It's just a piss take, really. I'm going to leave Hawkins here. Because I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's moving his whole army. But he's moving brigades up here to attack. Fairly in force, so let's just see if we can stop him. We're still barely moving here. Some guns have started moving, but nothing else. Okay. Combat starting up. Oh, here we are. He's crossing this river. We're going to take Graham's brigade, and they're going to take up defensive position here in this. Behind this fence. I had ordered Beatty to... Oh, no, I didn't. I moved Cook to here. I'm just going to give him a halt order. I don't think we need him to go all that way. Smith arrives. Army of the West. West Tennessee, sorry. So we should be nicely poised here, actually, to strike him with our troops arriving from the rear, because he's kind of split his army in two, but let's see, and let's wait and see how this goes. I mean... swinging cavalry and artillery around this way still. It's going to be a mess of a battle. This could have been a good battle, but I feel like it probably isn't going to be now. Because it just won't be. Hawkins going to march all the way around the battlefield here instead of just marching back the way he's ordered to go. It's just, yeah, not that good. What's he doing? He should be marching back this way, but he's not. Hawkins, I don't know why Hawkins hasn't just turned around and gone back into the defences. Honestly, it's just... Hey... Okay, we could dismount Custer. I'm going to send Custer into here. I'll dismount him because there's fences to cross, and that kind of thing just causes havoc for the cav. We are taking point-blank artillery fire. Getting those skirmishers out like I've just told you. Nope, not happening. Hawkins is still marching all over the battlefield. And why not, yeah? want Beatty's detachment to follow orders because he's not doing it. Push up there and take those guns on. I don't understand this. Just take the guns on, like I'm telling you. Absolutely head battering. Right, Custer's in place here at least, but nobody's coming from now. What's going on over here? Nothing. We're still getting in place. It's taking a long time. Alright, we've broken Gardner at least. Excellent. And we've broken those guys, so maybe it's not as bad as it seemed. If you guys wouldn't mind just doing your job. Alright, so we've knocked him back here. Let's have a look what's happening on this other end of the battlefield. Got guns moving in. They've come in range of Hancock's Mississippis, which is obviously, I think they weren't expecting us to have Mississippis again. So they're taking fire from there. Excellent. I feel like this kind of makeshift division up in the north can hold this area. Pull Rowley's detachment back. Hawkins has managed to walk all the way over here, and now he's walking all the way back. I mean, oh, infantry's arriving in force, but actually, why is only artillery gone up here? I'm sure I moved other troops here. Yes, I did, but they're still coming. Jeez, taking a long time about it. But at least he's on the move now. It is 6:15 p.m., so who knows? We should be able to strike them in the rear, though. Hawkins' march was ridiculous to go all the way up here. He's pressing on us again now. This fence line right here is coming pretty handy. Graham lost a lot of men. He's lost resilience, is suffering. Cook also, they've lost quite a lot of men. Let's have a look at the numbers here. 2,000 for them, 1,000 for us. It was a tough little battle, that. I know it was a bit shambolic, the battle on the whole. And things like this don't help, like guys marching all the way around the world and, you know, for whatever reason. But our flanking move is pulling into place here. He's very much forming up for another attack. Bringing some of his guys into the central region. Not entirely sure what these guys are playing at. He's definitely massing on this western side of the battlefield. Which, I mean, looks like it should be the east, but this is actually facing south here. Our guys are tired. B's brigade here taking some point blank fire from our 12-pound Napoleons and some fire from these 24-pound howitzers. He's not happy about it. And we've got White moving on his flank here. Hopefully he's going to open up. Hancock's Mississippis are coming in real handy again. Hawkins very tired, but come on, mate, get in the position. The infantry need to cross here to go through the swamp, and then we'll have to cross back over this river, no doubt through the swamp, but I think there's nothing for it. Johnson's Cav division up here forming up, but they are wrecked, tired. The guns are obviously fine. We could push on with them, but I don't want to bring guns forward by themselves. B's broken now. Let's just have a quick close-in look. Right, so this brigade is slightly out of range because they're armed with muskets, so let's bring them forward. Anderson's brigade taking fire from all over the place. Artillery. And now we're going to add on Wagner's fire to that as well. End of the day. Troops resupplied. Alright. We can redeploy here, so at least there's that. Of course, we can't really redeploy very well with these guys. We can only deploy it here, which is slightly annoying. There, that's it. Alright, so we've got Palmer's division over the river. So that's 8,600 men who are going to be able to push up over this bridge and hopefully strike these guys. The rest of our force, I feel, might be better served over here. So I'm sending Sherman up here. You can't redeploy him for some reason, which is quite annoying. But we've got the Cav division here. They're going to come over this bridge. We've got, who we got here? McDowell's infantry division, almost 10,000 men over the river. We're going to push along this road. And we're going to hit these guys right in the flank. They're going to be supported by Quimby's artillery. And obviously the Cav ones they cross. Palmer, he's going to push over this bridge and we're going to hit him again. Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen here. Or what we're going to try and make happen. Defenses-wise, I think we're looking okay. I'm going to pull Graham back. The Iowa Reds. The red uniforms, they're from Iowa. They're going to go into here. Beatty's little detachment. I'm quite happy leaving them kind of kicking around up here. They'll make a little nuisance of themselves, take artillery on. Same with Beatty himself. He can actually stay there. Wagner is in cover there. Hawkins. He's going to go into these defenses, but he's facing the other way for some reason. I'm sure there is a reason, but I don't know what it is. Okay. Then we've still got this kind of Governor K. Warren and Sweeney's division, a brigade over here. Okay, doing nothing really. So why don't we go ahead and set up some defense line to run this way. And fine, let's see how this goes. Let's see what he does. Let's go. He's done nothing. He hasn't repositioned or anything. Okay, Hawkins, so he's facing the right way. At least that's a good start. Right, I'm going to pause. It's 6 in the morning. We're going to press Palmer over this way. We're going to press Johnson over there. We're going to bring McDowell over here. Quimby's guns. We'll probably have to reposition them once we get nearer to the fight. That's fine. Right, let's see how this goes. Nobody's moving here yet. Of course, it takes a while for the orders to get through. So Graham and Cook are in reserve because they've taken a bit of a battering. So once this rear attack starts to come in, we'll push from our defences as well. Let's get Joseph Hooker's men out here, skirmishers. Get them state artillery guys a little pounding. Palmer's on the move. Excellent. Take a little longer to get to McDowell and Johnson's divisions. It is slow going, of course, through these woods, and the terrain is not favourable at all. Here we are. McDowell's division and the artillery is moving in, and so is Johnson. Alright, so we've driven more artillery away here. Posey's battalion. Pushing an attack here? I think he is. He's pushing forward. This is going to be a danger spot here. Let's get Cook behind there to support, just in case. Has he become aware of our flanking maneuver? I'm not sure. McDowell arriving here is certainly going to give him something to think about. Rowley's going to reposition right here. No shot we had with the guns. Custas boys fire 7 rounds a minute once they get going. Just any moment now. Should be some devastating fire. The calve's almost over the river. Hancock's going to face the brunt of this. Can he hold? I hope so. Cook's brigade. They're suffering some artillery casualties here. There's Rowley with his Kentucky Volunteers. Hancock suffering some men, some losses here. Pushing up through the centre as well, they are. Okay. Palmer hasn't even reached the river yet. Is he pulling out or is he repositioning? I'm not too sure. Quite poorly armed, this cavalry division, but still they're arriving in a dangerous spot here. Governor K. Warren, he's arrived now. Get these boys dismounted. Oh, I hate it when it does this. It doesn't give you the firing option. I hope he will. He is going to fire, so we will find out. Yeah, again, same shit. Only giving us the melee option, so even if you press Alt, it still just stays on the melee. I don't know why it does this sometimes. I think it just decides it's I don't know why. I have no idea. Let's just go to ×5. It's still a good battle actually. This was still all right, but there's been some annoying little quirks in it. What the hell? Why would they... See if Catterson's men can charge in here. They are retreating, yeah. I mean, where they're retreating to, though, I wonder. We've got divisions worth of troops all over the place, and they're just going to teleport out past them. It's pretty annoying that happens. These guys should be surrendering. Never mind. It's nice to have some large battles in the Western Theatre, that's for sure. Just going to mount up Custer and we're going to send him out to see if we can take out some of these artillery batteries. Let's chase him down, come on. Are these guys dismounted? Hard to say. Well, they're routed. Seriously. Oh. Yeah. Mustn't complain too much. Mustn't complain too much. Come on, Custer. Get these guys routed. After them, boys. Come on. Another decent performance from Custer there. I was quite impressed. And here we are. Palmer's crossed the river just in time to reap some glory at the end here, I suppose. Minor federal victory. We lost 2,500 men. He lost 6,500 men. Foolish attack. Slightly annoying battle in the way that they maneuvered around our defences the way they did and then didn't press an attack. But anyway, it's over and done with. It was a nice little victory. Let's see where they retreat to. May the 2nd, 1862. Alright, so the usual kind of deal here. We captured 3 men, even though that army was surrounded, and they managed to teleport out. 6,300 casualties total, 900 killed, 3 captured. We lost 920 men missing. Rest wounded. We captured 3,000 rifles and 38 guns. Cool. Let's have a quick look at the weapons, see if we captured anything obvious. Not really. I think we might have captured a handful of Springfield rifles and a handful of Mississippis, but the rest must have been poorer weapons. No decent artillery. Alright, so I'm going to leave the episode there. We had a nice little battle here, and we'll hopefully have another battle in the next episode in Virginia, where we have just gone on the offensive. We're pushing down towards Fredericksburg. Oh. Is he pushing up, actually? So it could be a bit of both going on here. Banks is pulling back. Army of Virginia is pulling forward, and the Valley Department, I thought we're pulling forward, but maybe they're not. But they will be. So we are facing combat in Virginia, probably in the next episode. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave it a like, leave a comment, and let me know what you thought of it. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day. Ta-ra now.